Let me just go on to the main content for today's session, which is what is my investment strategy for 2H 2024. Again, like I said, what is my plan and what are the things that I look out for. So usually, at least every point in a year, I'll review my PPIG lah. Okay, do a little test, see how much you all can remember what is PPIG. Anyone can please help to type on the chat. What does PPIG stand for? If you can only remember any of them, may just type, just type what's the first P stand for, second P type stand for, I stand for, G stand for. Okay, if not, I keep saying, sometimes you also can remember. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, we have a very attentive student. Okay, good. So PPIG. Thank you so much. Protection, property, income, and growth lah. Okay, so really number one point here is this. I think it's a good idea to review your PPIG. All of us has PPIG. All of us have insurance. Most of us have property, and of course, you may have an income portfolio and you have a growth portfolio. So it's actually good to review them at least once per year. And of course, it's also good to actually plan for the next 6 months, 1 year, how you actually want to, develop your PPIG. So basically, based on research, these are all the items, is what we call the comprehensive financial planning. Okay, to achieve our investment and life objective. Okay. So again, I don't think it makes sense to depend on just one particular instrument, like either on funds or stock. It's actually good to diversify into different instruments and then give you the comprehensive financial plan. So what I'm actually going to do here is this. I'm actually going to share on some of the observation I have actually made on the PPIG. Some of the opportunities I have noted on the PPIG and some of the general issues which I get asked on probably on the PPIG. So hopefully can share, hopefully have more clarity. So in the end, okay, so basically there is what I call it, a plan on how you can actually advance your PPIG. Okay, so that is going to happen for next at least 30 minutes. Okay, please send a disclaimer. So please take note. I'm actually using myself as reference. Every one of us is different. I just want to use myself as example. Hopefully that can give you more clarity. Okay, so please take note, whatever suitable for me may not be suitable for you, as we have different objective and risk appetite. So please use as a guide for your own investment plan only. So really, I think the key takeaway is the framework, the reference, the content, each of us will be different. Okay. So PPIG, so the first piece, protection. You always have to ask yourself, are you sufficiently covered? So things change. Like for example, something that is more recently is the CDL. Anyone can know what the CDL stands for or not? With regards to insurance or anyone make a guess? Thank you so much. Cancer drug list. Thank you so much. So this is actually something quite new. Then how are you going to protect against it? Okay, so as you can see, insurance policy, things quite changed. Like for example, the latest one is someone may buy over income. You all got the news. Which entity is gonna buy over income? Allianz. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is personal. This is my personal thought. Of course, it may not be true. Okay, like for example, if I'm not wrong, income is one of the very last few what do you call that? Insurance company whereby they do not increase your premium after a hospitalization claim. So of course, please correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm not wrong, most insurance company, if you actually go and buy a hospitalization plan, Okay, so after a claim is made, right? So they may actually increase your premium. Okay, so for income, they could also do that lah. So that's it after a claim is made. Also, again, please, again, please correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said, I'm not the expert. Now, usually I have my my financial planning expert to share. But what I understand is income can also do that, can also increase, but they don't practice it so far. So, you know, when Allianz come in, in fact, I'm a bit worried. So will they be still so nice? So anyway, my point here is this, you know, the insurance environment change all the time. You cannot just say that, oh, today I am properly insured. I don't have to care already, you know. And our needs change. And our needs change. Okay, like for example, now my daughter is turning 18 already. To a certain extent, you know, a few more years, she's independent. I don't have to protect her anymore. So should I make any changes to my insurance? Okay, so on and so forth. So basically, yeah, you know, insurance, we need to review every now and then, at least once a year. A few insurance company, they don't increase, but apparently, if I'm not wrong, they can. I was reading some fine lines, they actually can increase after the claim. So let's see. Okay, property, any opportunities? Okay. So again, I know that, you know, property is something is more cumbersome to invest, but sometimes just one right investment can really beat your other investment. Like for example, if you actually bought the property, upgraded property 5 years ago, 10 years ago, wow. You know, a lot of times maybe the returns is maybe not in percentage terms, but in absolute terms, it's a lot more efficient than stocks. Because if you actually make a right property investment, probably you can make like $500,000, $1 million. Okay, maybe in terms of the apps, in terms of the percentage may not be a lot. But for stocks, you know, we don't really like invest in terms of millions and millions. Okay, so it's always good to, you know, keep a lookout for opportunities. And later we'll see like what are some opportunities I believe now is presenting in the market. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for your comment. Okay, then of course my income portfolio. Okay, so my income portfolio, as you will see, it doesn't just look at dividends and REITs. So I also, you know, look at CPF annuities. So really, is there any change to my passive income strategy? Okay, we'll talk more about that and my growth strategy for next 6 months. Okay, so should I invest more growth? What I sense the market, is there any more opportunities? Okay, so this is what I mean by doing a review, doing a planning for next 6 months. Okay, so again, I'm just using myself as example. Whatever content I'm going to share very soon is related to me, okay, may not be suitable for you. So please remember disclaimer. If you want more detailed analysis, please get your get your financial planner to help you. If you don't have one, okay, if you want to use my partner, I'll be very happy to link you up with her. Okay, protection. Okay, this is something that okay, there's actually some incidents that happened recently and make me more convicted lah. Okay, so personally, I feel that now hospitalization plan up to private hospital is an important asset to own. Okay, it's an important asset to own. So this is my own personal opinion. Of course, to each his own. I just share my opinion. Okay, why do I say that now? So basically what I understand here is this. So in fact, in terms of healthcare, where is it public or private now? In terms of like the experience of the doctors, the equipment wise, I think both are actually quite similar. This is what I understand. Of course, again, please correct me if I'm wrong. The difference is a lot is with the waiting time and the resources. Okay. So like one recent experience is I have a relative who unfortunately have to see a doctor. So she went down to A&E. Okay. At night. Then after that, on that night itself, it's a Friday night. Then on the night itself, she could immediately go and see the specialist. Then after that, she actually needed surgery, and the surgery was immediately done on Monday lah, in a private hospital setting lah, which I'm not too sure whether in a public hospital setting, it can be actually done so quickly. Okay, again, like I said, I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure both, if let's say the surgery either done in private or public, I think will be equally well done. So that's the question is, can it be done as quickly? And of course, certain illness cannot wait. Okay, so that's why I think this is quite an important asset to own. So of course, this is of course based on the experience I have. I know different people have different experience. Like I said, I'm just sharing my review. And I thought is getting more important is because, like for example, today, so 1 in 5 citizen is 65 years old or older, and by 2030, right, 1 in 4 will be age 65 and above. So 2030 is just 6 more years down the road. So in that sense, I got a feeling that our public hospital is going to be more stressed. Okay. So again, I do see the private hospital plan is a good asset to have. So in terms of insurance, right? Okay, different insurance, of course, we will have a separate session talk about different insurance. If you ask me, this is one of the more important ones. Okay, in terms of, coverage for unforeseen circumstances. Okay, so anyway, I'm just sharing my experience. Of course, feel free to give your point of view. This was because some recent events came, and I thought, this is something worth for people to start thinking and reviewing. I know some people who say that, okay, hospital plan public is good enough. Sure, no, to each his own. And worse, some people don't even have hospitalization plan. Okay, which of course is cannot. Okay. So if you ask me, if I could advise or if I could share, I think we should upgrade as soon as possible. Okay. If not, the later you upgrade, they will exclude pre-existing condition. So of course, the younger we are, the likelihood of having a pre-existing condition is lesser. So as we age, okay, there are chances of more conditions. So, you can upgrade anytime, but, they will exclude pre-existing condition. So by the way, there is no savings for getting it earlier. Hospitalization plan, there's actually no savings for getting it early. So let's say, for example, if I start the cover at 20 years old versus another person that start the coverage at 30 years old. So when we reach 50 years old, our premium is the same. Okay, so please take note. It doesn't mean that, because I have actually started the plan earlier than another person. So when both of us reach, assuming me and that person same age, so but I start buying at 20, but the other person start buying at 30. And when both of us are in 50s, actually our premium is still the same. The amount we actually paid is actually still the same. So please think on that. So a lot of people mix this up. Okay, if let's say you talk about life insurance, yes, the earlier you buy, the lesser you pay. But in terms of hospitalization plan, it's actually tied to age. Okay, so the only reason why you should buy early is more to make sure that the pre-existing conditions are not excluded. Okay, then the other one is I realized this. So in fact, I was quite surprised. A lot of especially those working in corporates, your hospitalization plan is actually provided by your company. So I only noted this, like for example, my friend, his whole family hospitalization plan is actually provided by the company, and he didn't actually buy it for himself and his family members. Then of course, recently he retired. Then he realized that he is actually, or he and his family is actually not covered at all under the hospitalization plan. Then when he actually just go and buy a new one, then of course the pre-existing conditions will be excluded. So that is something that you all have to take note of. Okay. So again, this is just reference point. So what I just want to share some for you, something to think about. Think about. What I'm trying to say here is this. Number one, I think, of course, hospitalization plan is actually important. And you ask me, personally speaking, this is my personal opinion, of course, to each his own. I think it's an important asset to own. Okay, given that, the stress on public hospital, okay, is probably likely to increase as we have aging population. So of course, this is my own estimate. And of course, if you want to upgrade, should do it as soon as possible, if not a pre-existing condition. Okay. Joyce, I'll answer a question later. Thematic stocks, what are they? So IP, thank you so much, Stephen. IP is tied to age. Premium for private hospital plan is high for older client. A lot of older clients have to downgrade to restructure hospital. That is correct, yes. Yeah, so in fact, that is something I am considering. How do I actually sustain? Because personally, I do feel that the treatment, the treatment will be the same, but the waiting time, I don't know. Is something I do consider. Yeah, so I would actually rather, try to save money on somewhere else, save money on some other insurance, and not give up on this thing. So this is exactly, I think, CUT, right? This is exactly what I'm trying to say. I think this is quite important asset to own right now because can you imagine if, let's say, you go to public, I don't know. Okay, you take longer time for surgery, whereas go private, you get surgery faster. What is the impact on the health? Okay, so some food for thought. Okay, so this is something, you may actually want to think for your review. Okay, next is CareShield Life. So during this year, a question keep bugging me. So by the way, most of us are, hey, if you don't know what is CareShield Life, can you just help me type a 0? If you are clear that you are already CareShield Life, can you help me type a 1? Okay, got 1 or 2. Okay, so basically, for those who type 0, right? Do you know what is ElderShield? If you know what's ElderShield, don't mind just let me type a 1. Those who type 0 just now, if you know, just help me type 1. If you don't, okay. So basically, CareShield Life is something very similar to ElderShield. Okay, but please take note, again, different age, they have different categories. So basically, I think if you are born, okay, why don't I just go to the website? Thank you so much. 1980. Yeah, I think for those who are born 1980 or later, okay, automatically all in CareShield Life. Okay, whereas for those who are born in 1970 or earlier, okay, it depends. Some of you may actually still be under ElderShield. Okay, some will actually be switched to CareShield Life. Okay, so basically, it's very similar to ElderShield. I think for those who don't know, okay, it's very similar to ElderShield. So whether you are in CareShield Life or not, it depends on the age and this one. So what you can do here is this, you can check. Okay, there is somewhere you can, like, for example, basically you go to the careshieldlife.gov website to see whether are you inside the plan or not. So down here you can see, you can view my policy details. Okay, so basically what CareShield does here is this, you receive monthly payout for as long as you're unable to do 3 or more activities of daily living. Also pay out in cash so they can, you and your caregiver have flexibility to decide on your own desired care arrangement. So this is what the CareShield Life does. Okay, so basically in 2024, okay, the payout is 649 per month. I think same for everybody. Okay, of course, this payout will actually increase. So the question here is this, there's actually this part on whether should you upgrade or not. So that was something I was struggling with, So if let's say you don't upgrade, the automatic scheme, right, is actually pay about $600 per month, once anyone cannot do, I think three or more activities of the daily living, like need help in like bathing, feeding or something like that. Okay, you all can go to the website and read the details. Okay, so the question I had was, should I upgrade lah? So basically, there's actually this saying that, $600 cannot cover enough. Like in today's term, maybe can just help to employ a maid, full stop, or help to employ a helper, full stop. Okay, but actually there's a lot all other costs. If let's say, these three things cannot be done. So probably need to like refurnish, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So there's actually this argument that we should actually upgrade it so that the monthly payout is actually more. I think it can actually payout can go up to $5,000. Okay, so again, later you can see some of the website. Okay, so I basically go and check if I upgrade. So the premium, this is approximate. I can approximate pay about $1 more per year for additional $1 payout. So if let's say, for example, if I want the payout to be $1,000 extra, then I can go for this scheme whereby every year I pay additional $100. So now I'm actually paying about $300. Okay, the compulsory one, actually from my MediSave account, I'm actually paying about, from my CPF, I'm not sure is it MediSave, okay, I'm actually paying about $353, okay, per year, so that I'm actually being covered for this. Okay, so this is what's happening to me. I'm actually being offered, if let's say I want additional, so it's roughly about, I pay additional $1 for per year for additional $1 of monthly payout. So let's say I want additional $1,000, I pay about additional $1,000 per year. Okay. So I was grappling with that. So luckily I actually went to the sort of the insurance planning with my partner. Okay. So basically we discuss. So number one, if touch wood, for me, let's say only late stage then get it, right? So let's say I only get the claim at about 80 plus years old. Okay. So in fact, this is probably enough lah. Okay. Because let's say late stage then get, right, it usually won't last too long. And what you call that, and probably I will have enough savings to top up whatever lah. Okay. So in that sense, if late stage then kena, okay, then this is enough. So the issue is touch wood, that means early stage. That means, let's say this person, 60-year-old, will get it already. Then there's an issue. So imagine 20 years. 20 years, for the next 20 years, that person cannot do these three activities. Okay, at 60 to 80, for example, then this amount definitely not enough. Okay, so it's actually more to prevent, like, for example, what if that particular person, cannot do the three activities at the earlier age, let's say about 50 or 60. Okay, so that's number one observation I make. So number two is I realize it's actually quite expensive. So you think about it. So let's say, for example, I want to get about, let's say, $2,000. So every year I pay additional $1,400 more. $1,400 more. So if you think about it, it's actually quite expensive. Okay. So in fact, this one was, thanks to my financial planning partner, I found something in between, which is actually can use an accident plan to cover. Okay. So basically, if let's say this particular person at a younger age cannot do these three things already, okay, very likely is because of certain accident. If let's say for illness, I'm already covered for the critical illness. Okay, so if let's say the only reason why at a young age, the person cannot do these three, is either illness or accident. So like I said, illness I'm covered. So accident I'm actually not covered. So instead of me topping up on this one, I actually go and top up on my accident plan. Okay, which work out to be a lot cheaper. I think I am paying now like okay, accident plan is actually quite cheap. I think my rider is like, I don't know. I want $200 for 100K per year or something like that. Yeah. So again, these are just food for thoughts. I'm just sharing my personal experience, what I've actually gone through over this period, okay, under protection. Okay, so my point here is this, I actually done my calculation. It's actually cheaper for me to use an accident plan for the additional payout rather than, upgrade my CareShield Life. Okay, this was for me. So of course, again, different people may have a different consideration. I'm definitely not a financial planner. Okay. But if you want, you can actually discuss with your financial planner or my financial planner. Okay, but my point here is this, it can be very creative. It can be very creative. So because of that, I actually save quite a bit of money. So I think, if I were to add $1,000, every year to pay additional $1,000. But I use accident plan, right? I think in terms of premium to payout, I think is actually a lot more worth it. Yeah. So again, I'm not trying to have a conclusion on the content. So what I am really talking about is review. Okay, some food for thought. So these are my own personal one. During this period, these are the two things that actually caught my attention that I actually reviewed recently. Okay, so especially for this one, the CareShield Life one, it has been bugging me for a while. Whether I should upgrade. Then of course, after that, after discussing with the professional, maybe using an accident plan is more cost efficient. Okay, of course, it's not a perfect cover. Okay, but it's actually more cost efficient. Then whereas for this one is because recently there are certain events that happen at my home, then I realized the importance of this, so I just want to share. So some food for thoughts. These are what I mean by doing your annual review, and of course, I think you should do it because sometimes as we age, okay, we may not be able to take certain action. So by the way, like hospitalization plan, there's a certain cutoff age. After certain age, you can't even get into the plan already. Yep. Please discuss your financial planner. Okay, for those who actually want to discuss with my financial planner, just drop me an email. Hey, it's Janelle, they're my financial planning partner. I think along the way you'll see here. Yeah, so what happened here is this, I actually show her all my different plan. What we did is like usually objective-based approach. Like what kind of things could have happened, then whether are you covered and how you covered. So that's how we sort of came out. Instead of paying this, I use accident plan to cover.